feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride away.
Let's see what niggas got to say, man. Yo, Facts, you know this is all your goddamn fault, right?
Yo, Act, this shit crazy, Act. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Yo, Facts, this is all your fault. Listen, if you didn't jump up in here and start glazing Vory, that made me have a very passionate response. No Diddy, in terms of saying, nah, my nigga Drake, like, of course he wrote that song. Now it's turned into a thing where people think it's the aha moment, but it's not. Because no, y'all got to show me that Drake ain't right 5 a.m. in Toronto. Now, if y'all do that, y'all got me. But Mob Ties, I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed because I wanted him to, the idea behind the song, I wanted that to come from him.
Yo, I got a couple questions, Act. I got a couple questions. I'm not gonna lie, and you could use the option to phone a friend, but I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why? You know, Sexy Red. Okay, so I gotta go down the timeline. Kyrie, do you want to go down the timeline first?
It depends on what time what to research.
Why the fuck is Sexy Red Project named in Sexy We Trust? Why is Drake calling himself in Drizzy We Trust? Is he trolling me because I told him about this shit? I feel like that. Like, I feel like he's trolling me. I feel like I got a heavy. Listen, the chat detectives sent me every single thing. If you go on my Instagram page, they literally sent me every fucking thing to shows that he's trolling me. I need to know if this
You
nigga's
think Drake
trolling me,
is
bro.
trolling you?
Oh, you're delusional. You're
Bro,
seriously delusional.
Phil,
Nah, I
go to
don't
my
think Drake
page,
is trolling you. Nah, if
bro.
people don't know what he's talking about, so this is my guy Facts. Obviously, a lot of the conversation. He's Vory's number one defense squad. His name is In Facts We Trust. Then Sexy Red drops an album or EP actually, and she calls it In Sexy We Trust. Right? Am I correct?
100% correct.
He believes in his bitch.
No,
So
you're not
So
being
she
trolled by me,
dropped
bro.
it, right? She dropped it. She calls it and Sexy We Trust. Cool, no problem. That ain't no problem. But that only came from Drake hearing the nigga that's talking crazy on stream, right? While he's arguing and fighting with Kendrick, right? Why would Drake? What, bro? Come on, act like the nigga. I told the world that he didn't write Mob Ties. They literally CEO and a fucking chat detectives literally
How
did
did you find that out?
everything that they had to
Wait, let
do
me ask you a
to
question.
fucking fix. Yeah,
How did you know? Because the first time I ever heard that being mentioned, and I do like damn near my due diligence and research all day. Like, and I also like to consider myself a hip hop historian, especially a Drake historian. I feel like I know every article that's ever been out on him. Anything about any little song that ever came out, even if it was a leak. How did you know about this Mob Ties thing? Did someone tell you?
I'm gonna be honest. Saying this, no. I ain't tell you that. But I'm saying this. I told you that this about Drake. I feel
Bro, your mic is
you
going
feel
in
me
and
like
out,
the
bro.
same way you feel about
You
Drake.
in the Matrix,
I
Facts.
the same way you feel about Drake, I feel about Vory.
Yeah, but how did you know that Vory did Mom Ties? Like, that was specific. Like,
Yo, I
that was so
Vory,
specific.
yo,
It was
yo,
almost like somebody had to tell you.
no, I'm telling you, Vory didn't only write montage. Vory wrote way more songs. If I say all the songs that Vory wrote for people that people don't even know, the world will probably be like, "Yo, who the fuck is Vory, and why isn't he so big?"
Give us one more song then.
Well,
Bro,
he didn't write
I'm
anything else
not
for
doing this
Drake.
shit.
Like, I actually scoured through all the. So I scoured through Drake's whole catalog to see if Vory's ever credited again. And from what I saw, let me go back to it. Drake Scorpion. He's credited here. So Scorpion. Oh, no. Mob Ties. Here we go. Which, by the way, Mob Ties was a single. It was a 7th single release, and his name is Tavoris Hollins Jr. Correct?
Yes, sir. Ski.
Okay. Now, if I just search Hollins, I just want to see if he's not credited on anything else on that album. I don't know if Drake has even worked with him since, to be honest.
Would you Drake had to first of all,
He
I'm not
didn't
gonna
work with
lie,
him on
bro.
Dark Lane Demo.
I'm not over this shit, bro. I'm not over this shit, bro.
Yeah, I can't find another album that he's worked on. Yeah.
Drake album specifically?
Yeah, no,
he
yeah,
worked
Drake.
on Beyonce. Oh, Drake, I'm not going to say. I don't know. I love Drake right now. I love Drake. Me and Drake got a love relationship right now. I'm 100% a Drake dick rider right now, respectfully. Like,
Okay.
Drake can't do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah, he turned him into a trampoline, bro.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it. It looked like he never worked with him again, which is kind of sad because that record, honestly, for Drake to get back in that, poppin' shit, nice swag bag that Quentin had him in, he needs a nigga like Vory or Quentin. Like, Mob Ties sounds like a record that could have been on If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Am I wrong, chat? It sounds like a record that belongs in that.
Sorry.
I do got a question,
you can't have these guys jeopardizing like your career, bro. If you get them on the same level, there's another big artist. I'm a writer. I'm in LA and shit. There's another big artist a female artist that will not take tracks from other female artists because they're afraid of them getting the clout off of them. So you can't have this nigga write your whole shit forever because then you'll just these niggas are insecure, bro. They think that they'll just take their place.
Okay. So wait. So you're making the point that Drake would work with someone, but not work with them long term. He was just
Why
like,
would you, bro? You have the infinite pool of talent to work with. You don't need to get one nigga. You have everybody. You have the whole hive mind of the world, bro.
Yeah, but in reality, though, he has to lock in for like the core and the essence of a project. That's how you get it. If you're reading,
No, you do not.
Yo,
that is not understanding how writing works. I when I came out to LA in 2018, nigga, every writer I knew was trying to get a track to Drake. Then you knew it was common knowledge, bro.
No.
You knew you could do that shit.
No. I'm not disputing what you're saying. What I'm saying is that when you find a pocket that works, you have to fully exploit it. Like, for example, if you take away Quentin Miller and Party Next Door, there is no If You're Reading This Is Too Late, right?
There are 30 niggas that do exactly what Party Next Door because he came out with the music already, bro.
No.
Writers are writers.
No. I hear what you're saying. No. Listen, I think we're arguing past each other. What I'm saying is that, remember, after this whole wave, where, by the way, Detail also falls into this slightly too, but after The Weeknd was being synonymous with people saying, hey, The Weeknd chefed up or helped Drake chef up a sound, we were wondering what's the next sound Drake was going to be heavy in. Party Next Door was responsible for a lot of that going to If You're Reading This Too Late from an R&B sense. You don't get a Star 67. You don't get a lot of these records that are R&B sounding, still very we you know what I mean, to the fan that doesn't pay attention too much, you call that Drake sound, but that's Party. That's what Party and Drake did together.
Absolutely.
And also on the rapping side, that's what Quentin did. Now, I'm not saying there's not mad other writers. My thing was, okay, when you do find a writer that gives you a track that works, right? Especially if it's somebody prolific, you want to lock in with them for at least a project to get maybe 4 or 5 songs out of it, because that you gotta exploit that sound. And then
I get why you would think that, but it's very dangerous, and these people are very calculated, and there's pros and cons with something like that. I understand that. I understand why you would think that. It makes a lot of sense to like just the layman or whatever. But like you have to understand. There's like, again, suppose you had an artist. This wasn't the artist who I'm talking about, right? But suppose you had like someone like Beyonce, and someone wrote. You knew this bitch wrote all of Beyonce's work, right? Mm-hmm. The whole album was Beyonce, like Lemonade, right? Suppose Lemonade was all somebody else. One girl linked up, she knew, she saw the video with the fucking elevator shit, and she just like, yo, I got you, right?
Okay.
That would like she wouldn't be Beyonce. You can't just be Beyonce off of that. But like,
but it's too late though. It's like hold on. I'm gonna look up the this Cowboy Carter joint. I guarantee there's probably a few writers that's recurring because she had to tap into a pocket. I don't think she's just like randomly sourcing people. That Cowboy Carter project, especially she putting together as a concept album, she wants some type of cohesion, right? I guarantee we're gonna see some of the like. I'm gonna look through if I see recurring writers.
I'm with you, but like producers wise, for sure. But I think writers wise, I think you'd be surprised. And let me say one thing that you brought up earlier about the Kendrick Rihanna track.
Mm-hmm.
You hear DJ Dahi on it. It's not a real like that's not like a bomb. Like you hear DJ Dahi and Kendrick's just like singing over what you would be calling the reference track. To me, that's not like a bomb. That's like I knew that maybe because I'm a writer or whatever. But I knew when I first heard that, I knew that was like a, you know, like bro, remember back in like the old SoundClick days and shit like that, you buy a beat offline, it would be like with hook. I don't know if like y'all niggas know what I'm talking about, but like that's what it sounded like to me. Like he got the beat and like the hook came with the beat. DJ Dahi was singing on that bitch.
Okay, however, well, if Kendrick muted some of his shit and re-sung it over, isn't that the same thing?
Not even like the same. I mean,
I'm not saying to the point of sicko mode. No, not sicko mode. I'm mob ties, but hey, there's some people who believe Kendrick has never even taking a hook from somebody else, right?
That's not me. Okay, for sure. That's why. That's yeah.
Never took.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
that's
like
just,
for those
all
people,
these niggas got writers, bro.
Yeah. For those people, I'm trying to bring them to reality to say, hey, listen. Obviously, I think we're past the gray area when we feel like you took the whole track, but it is commonplace that you would get a hook from whether the producer, maybe the producer works with a writer because that's how they sell their beats. So again, just like you said, with hook, but it's very popular where it's like, hey, listen, you get this beat off quicker by selling it with an idea, or you might work with the artist to get the idea, right? Now, if it's and also sometimes that might even go into, kind of like sometimes I've heard a beat where the hook is clear. And then there's just kind of like a mumbling for the cadence of the verse that you could.
Where's Kendrick's reference track at? Kendrick ain't got no reference track out here.
Well, that's why I said Drake is
sloppy.
Let
me clear that up. Can I clear that up real quick?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I feel like Drake has more reference tracks than other people is because he's not doing it in studio like these other people might be.
I agree.
You don't do reference tracks. You don't bounce the reference track if you're in studio, bro. You can just go on that shit, you listen to it, and you do it back. You don't bounce reference track unless you're doing it either multiple days in a row or like sending it across the country or some shit. Okay. There's no reason to bounce a reference track.
Drake
if you're
don't
doing
care,
it
bro.
Okay, and by the way, on a writing perspective, that's what opens up something even more dangerous. It opens the idea of what would be considered writing camps, right? So like typically in a writing camp, you have either people in certain studios or whatever, and it doesn't have to be in one place, and they're all writing to the same beats, right? And then obviously you have to send those over.
Hearts would break if you knew what happened. But yeah. Go
so again, I think that particularly, I don't think what Drake is doing musically is so crazy or like, oh my God, this guy's a fraud. It is going to be seen as such because he's the only one getting exposed for these tracks. But mostly reason why these are getting exposed, he's doing it in a sloppy way where he's supposed to be locked in. All right, you fucking with Vory and all these guys. You bring them to the embassy. You have them cook up there for a month. Y'all lock in. But I don't think Drake's life is that, where he's locked in studio with these guys for a month and then trying to pick what it is. I think he's like, yo, he's living a superstar lifestyle. So he gets to the studio and he's like, yo, is the niggas we work with, did they have any ideas for whatever? He listens to a bunch. He's like, oh shit, I could probably build off this. Let's cook. I think that's what's happening.
Let me ask you, Ak, like, do you like the brand of Drake? Is that what you like then? Because what I like, I want my artists in the fucking studio, nigga. I want my artists grinding it and fucking, I want their heart broken and then they make an
album. Of course he does. He's not going to admit that now.
But what I'm saying is, like, the problem is, let me, like, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off, right? Or just let y'all go. But, like, my thing is this. at a certain point, like hip hop, right, as a genre, apart from the other genres, apart from other shit, we listen to this not only because it's real, but we listen to it to feel real with it. You know what I'm saying? That's why the white suburban kids listen to that shit, because it makes them feel real too. If you listen to this mob type shit now, it puts everything in this weird place where I'm listening to Drake and I don't know, like, it feels like I'm listening to Rihanna, like I'm some fake ass fucking like pop fan, nigga.
Bro,
I'm a
that's
rap
not
fan. I
true.
like
You
music.
gotta
Nah,
stop
bro.
thinking like
Nah.
that, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, gang.
Hold
Y'all gotta stop
Yeah,
being
y'all gotta
emotionally invested
stop.
in this shit, bro.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Writer, bro.
y'all
I'm
gotta
a
stop, bro. At
writer.
the
I
end
make
of
my
the
money
day,
off it,
bro,
bro.
listen, bro.
Like, you don't
One mic,
understand, bro.
These niggas,
one mic.
My fault. My fault.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a business.
Yeah, like
I'm
the
talking
real
about the
question
culture.
Niggas
is
I'm not
selling
talking
out
about the
hip
the
business.
real
hop,
Wait,
thing
bro.
one
with
mic, one mic.
the real thing with the reference tracks that I hate when like don't do the whole what the other artists are doing, because then we're gonna have to start talking about the percentage of the reference tracks that are being used. And I think out of everything we could talk about with the reference tracks, and I do think it's a played out topic. I don't think we need to be talking about it this long. But like with Drake, for us to think of Drake as highly as we do, and for him to use reference tracks in the way that he uses them, because again, a lot of artists use reference tracks, cool, but it's for him, it's artisanal integrity is the question. How much of these reference tracks are you using, and are you just taking a nigga whole song? Is it even a reference track? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yo,
then it's the question of the bullying practice or the coercion practice of convincing a young artist to let me hold that, and then you finesse them.
I
Which
would.
niggas do that all the time. Kanye did it with what my boy named that sound like Future, Designer. He did that with Designer with Panda.
Hey, by
So
the
you can
way,
license a nigga song. But
by the way,
go ahead.
to respond to that point, I would give more merit to the criticism of, hey, Drake is taking some of the best works of these guys and maybe not as much throwing alley oop. But the thing is, he does throw alley oops to a lot of young
he
artists.
does, and this is what I'm trying to
It's
explain.
kind of like tough. And here's the thing. I think most Drake fans, this is how we've, it's crazy how we're still talking about this, or this is like a new thing. And yes, I admitted, I said, I was kind of hurt that he didn't come up with the concept of the song, because that concept was true to his experience, his life, and his situation at that point. But when it comes to lyrics and it comes to ghostwriting, if like, I don't care if Drake I don't care if Drake wrote like say that singing part and be like, yo, 21, can you do? I don't give a fuck if he wrote it. You know what I mean? Like at this point, if it's not something that he's like spitting on, I'm like, oh shit, that's one of them joints. That's why he's one of the best rappers. Like he's an R&B star, a pop star. Yes, he's a rapper, but also he's a guy who makes swag rap too. If he's in his MC bag, then I'm upset. I'll be like I'll be devastated. These songs, yeah, obviously, I don't like hearing that somebody else created it, because what this does, the biggest thing this says to me is it says two things. One, laziness, right? And how could you not get lazy? It's like, when you're worth $1 billion, do you think you're still gonna go to the studio and put in 29 hours a day? No, you're not. Like, it's like, bruh, yo, I gotta be at the game. I gotta be courtside at the game. I'm on a jumbo jet. I'm gonna be in Turks with 15 bitches. Yo, when I come to the studio, I got 3 hours. I got 3 hours, so I need to speed this up, right? So that's what that tells me. It's a little bit of laziness. Secondly, it tells me that I think Drake at this point has probably he's probably even accepted that he's no longer leading in creating new. There was a time when the type of songs Drake was putting out was almost like so unique, and it was almost like a new style. No, for a couple of years now, it feels like when Drake even has a song that works, it's fitting within the mold of something that's already happening, right? Instead of this whole new trendsetter. Like Kanye was known for that. Trendsetter shit. Like, you hear these songs and you're like, what the fuck? Like when you heard of Flashing Lights, like, you never heard hip hop sound like that, right? That was just so fucking new and profound. These songs we're hearing from Drake, it sounds like, even like, for example, let's say the song with Yeet. Hit song, but that sounds like Yeet's Pocket, right? So it's not like Drake is reinventing the wheel. Look like he's almost, like I said this before, Drake might be one of the best editors of all
He's a
time.
colonizer, nigga. He's still
No.
sweat.
See,
Bro,
Nah, he's not,
Goodness.
bro.
this guy, man.
When you
He's a
he just
country
made a
artist,
whole album doing that. He just made Honestly Nevermind. What are we talking about?
bro.
bro.
Like
He's a colonizer.
Wait. You think honestly Nevermind was kind of like very new and profound?
yeah.
I think it was definitely a new sound. I don't know if profound is subjective, but it was definitely
Sound.
sort of sound. He
That was
combined
more
like sort of hip
experimental
hop
for
and
Drake.
dance element to it.
Drake fans make it hard for niggas to even respect that nigga. Y'all just give this nigga the excuse.
Nah,
Oh
bro.
wait.
You got,
So then
listen,
who did he
listen,
get that
listen, 'cause
sound
y'all-
from? Who was he copying?
Listen,
Yeah.
it's
Hold
no
on.
Drizzy slander.
Wait,
Listen,
I
listen.
think that Drake scene, right? Because what you saw on Honestly Nevermind is basically what's been the underground wave. That's why he put them boys in Philly and Too Rare and Sticky where they're doing the dance, where these niggas are rapping over house influence, Jersey style, Philly, Baltimore club beats, where that's even the thing now. Same with I Wanna Rock, except Drake's a better rapper. So again, I don't know if we could just say Drake created that. I think Drake, that was a pocket that Drake could be in, and him using Gordo at the time was like really fitting in EDM to a certain aspect. So EDM, Jersey club, rapping over it, dancing, that's kind of more what he did, right?
But I'm responding to what you specifically said. You
Yeah.
said that it seems like every track that he puts out is fitting within a current mold. And I'm saying,
Yeah.
honestly, Nevermind was not a current mold that, he was trying to fit in. It was like something
If
that
I-
he sort of introduced.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
If
yeah.
I
bro,
could,
bro,
real
he
quick,
tried to
if I
introduce
could,
it to the
real quick, to
mainstream.
that point about the Honestly Nevermind, there was rumblings in the industry that was Drake trying to get ahead of Beyonce putting out a similar stylized. You can get a part of that wave.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Those are house waves supposedly come. Yeah, no. But I'll give Drake that credit for doing it on that mainstream level rather than like, oh, okay, I know niggas like, whether it's like a yeet sound that is kind of like it's popular but it hasn't gone all the way mainstream until Drake kind of like, all right, here we are, we're like fucking number one with this song, right? So, again,
Well, let's expound this conversation and kind of do a little bit of sorting out of or parsing out of the demographics, right?
okay.
You got the commonplace fan. Let's be honest. On this stream, we shouldn't give a fuck about what the commonplace fan got to say about these situations. Then you got the industry people who don't make music, and you got the people who make music, right?
Yeah, okay.
I do think
music also don't matter. Let's cut us out too, because I think that's like a
no, we do matter. We do matter because again, Drake cares about what the people who make music think about. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't be responding to a beef with 8 fucking songs. Okay, so we're not gonna sit here and act like the nigga don't got a chip on his shoulder. Okay?
Oh no, he definitely cares. Like, I mean,
He definitely cares.
and also he cares about his legacy, and also he cares about his fans.
Now, act. Remember the first song that we ever found out that Drake wrote was a very profound song. You remember that song, Legendary? Legend, right?
Oh, wait, are you saying
Legend.
the
When
one
I
that?
heard that song and I found out that song was not written by him, that's when I realized Drake. I could always question his artisanal integrity because it's not about if it's a singy song or not. It's about the statement of the song. That's a very bold statement. It was the intro to a very phenomenal project. And it's something that you would, if a nigga said it, you're going to believe it because it's like, ain't no way he just started the whole album saying, I'm a legend. If I die, I'm a motherfucking legend. And for a nigga to pull a move like that with a song that's not his, that's where you kind of got to look at almost anything and everything after that. From me being a creator, I'm going to look at with a tarnished lens because I know he's willing to make statement tracks with other people's statements. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a very bold thing to be able to do from an integrity standpoint.
So
And I think
AKA
that's where
that nigga is compromised.
I think that's where most people where you really have an
This
issue.
nigga Kendrick
Only
intern
because of that,
only quotes
after the fact, do
Kendrick.
we do the whole,
Man,
it's
bro.
singing, it's not rapping. It's about what the actual statement of the song is. Like you said, when a nigga back against the wall, you find out, damn, every time you're back against the wall, you hire like a bunch of henchmen, a bunch of mercenaries.
Yo, and by the way,
Wait. It's not. Wait.
if
let me
you're
say
reading
something.
this is too late, might have been one of the fans' favorite album of Drake, but it may have ruined some of the core essence of Drake. And let me explain. We used to know what I remember. I used to say, Drake will give another nigga a feature, but you'll never see that nigga get featured on Drake's album. Drake's album was almost like this oasis of This is Drake's sound. No one could come near it. It was so like isolated, right? If you're reading It's Too Late, after that, I know he does give us views, but every other album has kind of not really been in that same what's Drake like that quintessential Drake sound anymore. Like what would you say Drake's sound is now? Like I don't know if we could say there is one. While I think there was,
it's an amalgamation of hip hop currently.
Yeah, Drake. That nigga Drake literally is like Shang Tsung of the whole rap game. That nigga hear a sound and he will low key fuck around and take that shit and just elevate it on it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he like the folk
hold on.
He's not afraid to adapt. That's for sure.
Are we trying to say when Drake comes on that we can't hear that this is Drake and that it doesn't sound like Drake? It sounds like anybody rapping on it.
Some songs. Once you hear the reference track, see, this is the thing about having a voice as big as Drake's, because he has the top voice in music. You're going when you hear a song first from him, you're gonna immediately attest it to him. For instance, right, the third song on the last album, that was actually written by Cash Cobain. Great song. You wouldn't even think Cash Cobain anything until after the fact. You see what I'm saying?
Well, today though, how many songs do you hear from other artists and they sound like Drake? Back in 2015, that was like a big thing. There were
nobody sounds
Drake. I'm saying today, no one sounds like Drake now because Drake isn't like as a unified sound as he was 10 years ago. You have people copying off of Drake.
Let me ask you all this question.
Let me ask right now, but like at the same time, they said everybody who was singing and trying to rap at the same time would sound like Drake. So
let me ask you all this question. Right?
Sometimes they were trying to sound like Drake.
Hold on, let me ask you all this question. Why are we assuming that it's just a bad thing if Drake is kind of capitalizing off the current? Because again, I feel like most of the disgruntled people happen to be us longtime fans who are almost complaining that Drake isn't like the Joe Buttons of the world too, like complaining that Drake isn't giving you what he used to and that he's adapting to the current landscape. He's working, collaborating. I know obviously people are going to say like, oh, no, having people write, whatever, but he's taking these records to another level still. I'm going to be honest with you, For All the Dogs to me is still fucking fire. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you say Cap?
But I'm still confused on how was For All the Dogs not an album that sounds like Drake. I mean, he did the whole shit, and those were the most popular songs. But
most of those songs on there were written by Lil Yachty. That's why, and you can hear it.
Not most. That's crazy.
The Bahamas Promises, BBL Love. Who else would make a song like BBL Love but Drake?
Wait. I'll give you the exact reason, right? So the R&B portion still sounds like the Drake that we've grown to love. It's just that Drake has always mixed the R&B with the hip hop, and the hip hop always sounded a very certain type of way mixed in with that. This time, the hip hop sounded a lot more like Yachty-esque influence, and that made it.
Boy, Yachty was striking all through that album. Boy, he was hitting that strike. Come on now, that shit was.
Oh my God, bro!
Wait! Y'all only saying that because y'all heard the reference songs, bro. Let's be
like Yachty on another late night.
Hold on, bro. Because if y'all didn't hear this Mob Ties reference song, y'all still be on Drake dick respectfully in the most respectfulest way. So let's not do.
You the only one on Drake's dick, nigga. Ain't nobody giving a fuck about Drake, nigga.
Wait, hold on. So I also want to say this because I'm listening to y'all talking. I just listen to everybody. Just, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, how could we get mad for a nigga that been in the game for how long? Right? Let's really talk about it. The nigga been in the game for how long? Right?
Yo, okay, facts. Cool. You gotta cut it out because just 2 months ago, facts, you was on here talking about you don't fuck with Drake. I can't stand you, bro.
All right,
you gotta stop flip-flopping, bro.
I didn't, but I had a fucking realization, bro. Bro, look how long the nigga been in the game, bro.
But facts, you make
wait, hold on.
Let him go.
Listen, bro. A lot of y'all niggas, I've been trying to tell y'all niggas about Vory for how fucking long, nigga? How long I've been trying to tell niggas about Vory? Y'all niggas wouldn't have listened if it wasn't exposed that fucking he was writing for Drake, nigga. So, or Quentin Miller either, nigga. So as much as niggas trying to put, Drake is a bad person because he got ghostwriters, nigga, he just fucking changed Vory life, nigga.
Hey, hold on. Yeah.
That nigga Facts got that third eye. Facts got that third eye.
Hey, by the way,
really talk
And by the way, so I want to ask the question, but I want to ask the question and I want to answer it by people who genuinely have some appreciation for Drake. So if you already don't like Drake, you're not gonna even. This question not for you.
We all fuck with Drake.
We all fuck with
Nah,
Drake.
I don't fuck with Drake. I don't fuck with Drake.
Oh, never
I
mind.
Wait.
personally
All
don't.
right, hold on.
All right, we like
At
Drake.
this point in Drake's career, right? Would you rather Drake? Because I feel like sometimes we want too much from Drake, or we want 15 things and then half of those things contradict the other half. So if we want Drake to be like, again, Drake could probably go away for 2 years and write some bangers. We want mad songs from him. We want a summer. The nigga just dropped 3 albums in like a year and a half, and we're still saying. Are you saying do we want? Of course.
Yeah. Do we want?
Why gotta have quality, bro?
Fans have gotten used to Drake.
Yeah, quality over quantity for sure.
Listen to them, Max. Like they're saying, like, nah, we're good, bro. Just take advantage.
That's what burns him out.
Like, he didn't. If he making too much music, he gonna be another young boy, man.
So
listen, bro.
So we're at the point of saying Drake is dropping too much.
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah, we've been saying that for the last 2 years.
I don't think he's dropping too much now.
Honestly, we've been saying that for the last 2 years. And act 2 months ago, before all the dogs dropped, you were saying the same shit. What are you talking about?
You said there were 900 to 1,000 Drake songs out. Like that's too much.
Yo, you're not hearing what I'm saying though. I'm saying
damn.
we can't have both. So if we enjoy the frequency that Drake drops, he's going to be collaborating with people, getting waves from other people, and probably getting songs from other people. If we want the Drake that's only his pen, okay, well, prepare for him to drop like Kendrick. See you in 4 years. I'm cool. Listen, I'm cool with him taking a song from Yachty. At least, the month. Listen, part of him being this active and being this superstar who has to do a million things is probably him collaborating and probably him not only collaborating, but him using the influence of other people. Like,
quit taking collaborating. Like collaborating is different from copying somebody's work. Like, nigga, it's not collaborating. You literally
taking that completely out of it. I'm just saying for it to sound fresh and
Hold on
again, bro.
Yeah.
There's 3 years in between. Nothing was the same in views. There's like years in between like his albums. Like this every.
You know
year
what I
is
will
kinda
say?
new for him.
Hold on. How do we know that Drake is not collaborating? How do we know he's not collaborating though? I know people are judging the saying, oh, there's a reference track, you just copy and paste. Now, again, let's get into the minutia or the minute details of the fucking reference tracks. Yo, if Vory is writing a song that is very, it seems impossible that he's not writing as he's Drake in Drake's situation at that time. Do you think Drake has zero input? Doesn't like not because we heard that one song, Drake didn't send shit back and forth. Are we just saying?
Of course he did, bro.
All right, so that's collaborating.
Why wouldn't Drake leak that on his side?
Hold on, it's not realistic that Drake didn't have input on that song. Like, niggas is delusional. Like, let's really fucking sit and think about it. Vory bro. Come on, bro. Like, y'all.
No, we said that Drake tweaked the song. It was good, but Drake just came in and did the rest of what he had.
I think they were collaborating.
It was
bro. That track already seems so. It seems so. It's so pointed. Yo, it seems so pointed. It either Vory lives in that nigga's head and knew what to already put in a track that Drake is gonna tweak, or maybe Drake probably collaborated with him to get it to that point. Then he did the rest.
You're a Drake fan, right? You're a Drake fan, right? You don't think you could write from Drake's perspective? Like, that's what writers do, bro. If you're a writer, if I'm sending songs to Drake, I would put all that shit. I would diss Kanye too much in that shit. Probably.
No, but you usually talk to them at the same time. I mean, it's like ghostwriting a book. You sit down and you talk to the person.
I'm saying hypothetically. I'm just saying there's room for there not to be that much of a collaboration. I'm saying hypothetically. I'm saying,
yeah, but it's all a collaboration. You don't just write without the person's input about whatever you think they want to say. Talk to them and kind of get ideas from what they. It's collaboration. It's making art.
This is a fact. There should not be a Vory bounce of this beat. Of this reference track. There should not be a bounce of it.
We gotta start normalizing.
Wait, should there be any amount of collaboration in MC writing?
We have to start normalizing niggas using writers. It has to be okay. I can name you 7 artists right now from New York that's fucking big that uses writers, my nigga.
But
too,
where's
nigga.
Kendrick at?
My
You can't
nigga.
name
They
Kendrick's
gotta
writers.
stop.
You can't
No,
name
no, no, no,
Kendrick's
no, no,
writers.
no, no. Hold on, wait, bro. Hold on, bro. If we're gonna motherfucking just say a whole nigga, and I'm not saying Drake, this don't got nothing to do with Drake. If we're gonna say a nigga career is done because they got writers and they're a rapper, this fucking whole industry is fucking trashed in, my nigga. Everybody
I'm
got
not saying
writers,
no one's
bro.
career is done. I'm not saying no one's career is done. I'm just saying the facts
My
of the
nigga, that's
situation.
what
I'm saying the one
everybody
thing.
fucking saying in the comments, nigga.
All right,
And
don't
I'm
worry
not
about the
talking about
comments.
this.
And Drake,
I'm talking
Worry about
about
this
it,
conversation
bro.
here. No one said that
Drake
here.
clearly knows that because I mean, in the interview, he talked about how if he could like expose so many people who uses writers, like remember that interview where everybody said he was crying on? He said like this is
My
literally how the music
nigga,
industry
Drake can
works.
only, bro. Listen, bro. Drake taking the hits for niggas, bro. He literally, that's not the only thing he could expose, nigga. You know how much shit that niggas in
Oh
this
yeah.
industry could expose? Like, bro, let's be for real. Like,
In that boy one interview.
Wait. You know how much shit in this industry that niggas could expose? I could expose something right now about Apple Music, and then a whole shit will go crazy right now, nigga. Like, you serious?
Hey, let me ask the people who are detractors of Drake this question. Clearly, I've not heard any one of y'all say that having, reference tracks is wrong, or collaborating is wrong. It feels like everybody's saying it's the level of how much the collaboration. Some of y'all feel like, no, he's just copy and pasting. And for those people, they feel like it's wrong. So where do you draw the line? Do you draw the line at, okay, like I gotta know, you came up with the flow for your own verse, or yeah, you could get the hook, but that's it, or like where's the line for y'all? Because I feel like because Drake is on,
I feel like the line is drawn when it comes to rapping, like raw rapping.
Yeah, but we haven't heard rapping. We haven't heard rapping reference tracks. So where's the line? And I'm asking everybody who don't like Drake, the detractors, you give me the line on where you're like, nah, this Drake shit is crazy. Where's the line?
I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with the little reference tracks.
Hold on, one time.
You gotta use I mean, I ain't gonna say you got to, but sometimes niggas find inspiration off the reference track. Like, don't that nigga Kanye got a whole bunch of motherfucking songs like that referencing other
Bro,
old
y'all
ass
just
songs?
hitting this nigga Drake. No, nigga, if you the top rapper in the game, you not supposed to have a reference track, nigga. What are you doing? Kendrick don't got no fucking reference track.
I mean, it's inspiration though. It's
But how you supposed to
inspiration though.
become the top rapper in the game? Like, y'all are playing fucking stupid.
Hold on, one mic.
It's like it's inspiration though. You know what I'm saying?
No, nigga,
But I don't understand that. I don't understand the statement. If you are the top rapper, you're not supposed to have a singing reference track. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Wait.
If you're the top rapper, you're not
time.
supposed to have a rap reference track. So that's where you like taking it out of context.
The
Who
line
cares
for me,
about
I think the
a
line for a lot of fans.
Hey,
Once you cross the line, bro, rap isn't just non-melody, blah 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 anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Stop that shit. Mob Ties
No,
is
but
a
that's
rap
what we're
song.
talking about.
It's a rap song. What the fuck?
No, I'm saying niggas ain't supposed to
doing
have
any
one
like,
period.
he was singing.
Hey,
He's not
y'all, I
singing
got a
on Mob
genuine
Ties.
question.
He's rapping on Mob
I
Ties.
actually got a genuine question. Has Drake ever promoted himself as a songwriter? Period.
Of course.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, of course.
He is. Yeah, he is.
No, bro. In that interview, he says he wrote songs for other people. All that shit. Wait, real quick. In that Boy One interview, when he said,
With that being
Boy Wonder
said,
says,
it's gonna
wait,
look
let me
funny
go.
for him
Yo,
if he considered himself as a songwriter, an MC.
No, it doesn't.
And that's going to
What?
be a problem.
He writes for other people. Other people write.
No, you're right for him. No, that's not crazy. Let me ask you one question. On that Boy Wonder interview.
Wait, one at a time. Come on. Wait, on the Boy Wonder interview.
On that Boy Wonder interview, when he goes, so Drake just heard that beat and that's all he needed, right? How do you feel about that?
Shit. Would I mean, he could just be lying, or I'm gonna be honest with you. From Drake's recording process, I don't think none of these niggas are in studio with Drake. I think
he got beat in the studio writing for him, like Kendrick said.
You know how I know why I think you're right? Because there's a bounce again. If someone's in the studio with you, you don't need to bounce out the reference track with the other nigga on it.
Bro,
you listen to that shit in the studio.
If you ask me, I think at times Boy Wonder links up with Drake, plays songs, whatever. But he might drop off a pack. But a lot of producers, this is generally normal. The producer's not gonna stay there while you record every song. The producer got other shit to do. He drops off a pack, right? Yeah, Drake might like the song. Also, here's the thing, too, right? Imagine if Drake hears a bunch of beats and says, I like this, this, and this. And then he just picks the beats. Like, yo, don't play these beats for nobody else. And then what they do is they almost incubate these beats. They'd be like, all right, cool. Yo, Drake, do a couple ideas to like all of these songs, and then they'll also send out a couple of them to get ideas from other people. They compare Drake idea to that idea, maybe mix and match. I think that's how a lot of these records where you see beat switches or like some drastic shit, like almost 2 songs in one. I think that's Drake piecing shit together. Yo, I did this. I had this nice little, riff right here. I want to add it, but I'm going to just do it as a breakdown. Yeah, I think that's kind of how it works. But I think Drake is alone in the studio for the most part. Maybe has some people with 40. I think it's him and 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got it.
And Bean.
I just want to say this.
Y'all keep saying Beam or whatever, like, but there would probably be a reference, and that nigga isn't with Drake all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you act like a nigga lives at Drake's house. You know what I mean? Like, if that nigga was like, I could see if people said Hush, like, I'd be like, okay, like, that's an OVO nigga who's been creating with Drake from the very beginning. Okay, cool, I get that. But when, like, you just repeating what Kendrick said, Kendrick would just say anything. You know what I mean? Like,
nah, nigga, Drake would just say anything. Nigga, Kendrick exposed who the real writer was.
Oh,
niggas ain't know who the real writer was.
Hold on. All right, so all right, what did Beam write?
Didn't he write Rich Flex?
Man, he probably wrote all that shit. Nigga ain't no telling. If y'all saying this nigga, hold on, y'all saying Drake is too.
These are just blanket accusations.
Even if he did write Rich Flex, are you telling me that Kendrick Lamar's "Gotcha" moment was?
I keep doing this, bro.
Wait,
hold on, let him finish.
Yo, are you telling me that Kendrick Lamar's "Got You" moment was pointing out a nigga who wrote 21? Can you do something for me?
Come on.
That's the thing.
His Got You moment was what we doing right now when Drake's core audience is stomaching that Drake really don't have a classic and niggas is writing his whole shit.
Nigga,
that's an insane statement, bro.
Yo, this nigga is just repeating
that shit
this
is
line.
crazy.
Let the Beam shit go. They're gonna clip you up.
Yo, bro, no funny shit, bro. Yo, Kendrick, no lie, bro.
Really not that fire. Like, y'all looking at y'all niggas.
Yo, Kendrick, no lie, bro. Everything you said, I was with you just now, bro. But you said Drake don't got a classic, bro. Come on, my nigga.
Yo,
like, you really saying that right now, bro?
If he didn't write it, he don't got it. If he didn't write it, he don't got a classic.
Wait. That is crazy that you would say that, bro. Because that's the shit that I be reading on the internet. Before doing the rap battle and beef shit, I was like, yeah, I wasn't jacking Drake at all. You feel me? Like, I was like, nah, fuck that shit. Because, like, just my own personal reasons. But, like, really sitting back and thinking about it, bro, like, is niggas like you that would be comfortable saying that Drake don't got no fucking classics, and it's a fucking lie.
Nigga, since 2018, he dropped all L's since 2018.
Yeah, nah.
Yo, chat. Yo, hold on one second.
I'm not even saying Drake doesn't write his shit, but you're saying that if somebody wrote some of your shit, it can't be a classic. So you think Michael Jackson's Thriller is not a classic? Is Thriller a classic?
No, let's not do this. Yo, get it back on track.
Yo.
I'm not sure listening to that.
Come on.
Hey, by the way, I think this is why, I think these are legitimate conversations to have. A lot of people love, we love mob ties, right? Like, I think it does mean something more to the fan of Drake than maybe other songs like a Jumbotron shit popping. I think who fucks up this conversation is Kendrick fans who are self-serving, right? They're trying to make, like, if we're trying to have an actual conversation, like, Kendrick fans still hasn't gotten it that, yo, Drake ain't responding to that nigga right now. Like, I'm sorry. Like, right now the battle is suspended or over, whatever you want to call it. The conversation about Drake and using either reference tracks or whatever the case is a conversation about Drake and his legacy. It's not a conversation that's serving to make Kendrick look like he's like a genius. That's where Kendrick fans fuck up this conversation.
But you saying Kendrick fans, it ain't got nothing to do with Kendrick fans. Notice when Kendrick
because everything you keep saying is what Kendrick said. What about Beam? Yo, this core fan. We're not discussing. No one's even with this. No one's discussing if Drake has a classic, right? I think people are discussing because whether Drake wrote it or not, Take Care is a classic. Whether he wrote if you're reading this too late or not, it's a classic project. I think what we're talking about is for Drake to claim the spot as a top rapper, do these indict him? That's it. But that's what I'm saying. Kendrick fans, they're so desperate.
If he didn't write it, that nigga's Drake nilly vanilly. Niggas is right.
No, true. I think the thing about what you're saying is now there's more room for the imagination to fill in the blanks of maybe he didn't. when there wasn't before.
No, 100%.
And that's the problem. That's
no one's thinking about that though. No one's thinking like that when they're listening to Drake. Like you are obviously you have a bias against him, but I'm not thinking about that when I listen.
Bro, this what did me, bro. The Know Yourself, when that leak came out, my head fucking went. I couldn't believe it, bro. That was like crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Know how much proving Kendrick's point the whole time,
bro. I'm not listening to Know Yourself trying to envision Drake running through 6, bro. Like I'm not oh my god, it wasn't really him running through 6. Like
why is Know Yourself like a track that you were so befuddled about?
Because it seemed like such a personal Drake. It seemed like such a Drake track. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh wow, this is like the next evolution of what Drake is going to sound like for the next blah blah blah. I'm saying when it came out, that's why I felt like. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is crazy. It's about the 6. Like he wasn't even calling it the 6 like that before. There's like the big, and like there's like when the 6 branding, 6 God shit started and all that. I was like, oh man, he's on some other shit.
Come on, how many more black features till you feel like you black enough? Like damn, bro. Tell your own story, bro.
Kendrick,
you do it too.
Tell your own story, bro.
Yo, Kendrick
fans, the conversation with that shit, bro.
Ew, bro.
Yo, Kendrick fans are the only fans that there's a lot of people saying Kendrick won, and they're acting like they lost. Like,
bro.
Like, we arguing with a nigga named Kendrick intern right now.
Exercising to let niggas know we killed that nigga. We just that's all we doing.
I think they wanted Drake fans to like agree with them, and we're not. So they're just trying.
Here's the reality of it, right? So Drake's dropping like 2 records tonight. He's gonna be dropping some other music soon. The reality of it is that this beef is going to be a blip in his career. It will affect legacy and how people view it. But Drake is still gonna be Drake. He's still gonna sell out arenas. People are still going to love him, right? That's not the question. And I think that's what Kendrick fans want. Like, there's no possibility of Kendrick, Ja Rule, and Drake. So if that's the intended win you want, it won't happen, right?
No, who's saying that? Who's saying that?
He already Ja Rule.
No.
Okay, this is okay.
Yeah, that's who said it.
Yes.
He's the only nigga saying
that. Yo, Kendrick fans, that's their whole demeanor towards this whole thing. Yo, like, no, that won't ever happen, though. So these conversations we're having, that's why I say we almost got to leave Kendrick fans out of it, because they don't want to have a nuanced conversation about whether it's writing, help, because, again, this shit, and that's what I was going to ask this next question. What is the biggest problem with this track? I know someone, obviously for me, I said, hey, I'm disappointed because I felt that was his perspective in that moment. So I would think that would come from him, right? But it's not the rapping. For some people, it's just hearing the track. So it's more of, hey, there are these things that are just taboos called reference tracks. It shouldn't exist for a top creator. And I think some people that they won't admit it. It's just that the idea of a reference tracks makes you just look at an artist like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like, and we're not, again, I know some people says act stay on subject. I'm not trying to throw nobody else under the bus or trying to switch subjects, but let's say Future, right? The Xanax Damage track, right? It's written by, or is actually created by Bobby Raps. In reality, he has a million tracks with him rapping about drugs, right? I would think that sentiment, especially how he talks about, Xannies and shit like that, I would think that was a cry out. There's many tracks.
Why you put Future and Drake on the same level though?
You're not hearing what I'm saying. Well, here's the thing. First of all, neither of these tracks are like super rapping tracks. These are just great songs. So that's where they kind of are on the same level. If we're talking about just great songs that the culture loves, right? I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't y'all be devastated if y'all found out Future didn't write Codeine Crazy? I would cry.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I mean? It's like, wow. So you tell me, like, yo, I listen to that shit and I feel like it's just about addiction. If I then knew that was some random nigga who cooked it up and was like, oh, this sounds good, let's do it. It would make me look at him a different type of way. So that's what I'm trying to say. We're not, and even if you're a Kendrick fan, you can't say this is about, is Drake writing his bars? Because we don't have proof that Drake didn't write the majority of the bars that did damage, the songs that are timestamp records or his best.
What's all more than proof? What are you talking about?
That's what bothered me. That's what bothered me. When Joe Budden said that Mob Ties was like an MC track, I'm like, that's not an MC track.
It's not.
No.
We don't have proof. We have evidence.
And that's when Joe said it. Joe said, act that's like his like a timestamp, and it's not to me. For me, it's like back against the wall record. You get what I mean? Like I've seen rappers rap in moments when their back is against the wall, and we usually get the best of them. We get the most inspired shit. When you see Gunna come out after everybody's called him a snitch, you hear that album. I've said this on here before. One of the reasons people love that Gunna album, he finally stopped rapping only about fucking buying Birkins. He finally had some substance he had to rap about. Now, if that substance didn't come from him, right? Yeah, I would kind of be like disappointed a bit. Granted, even if it's not the best rapping, right? But nobody has proof that Drake didn't rap some of his best raps. And we have to make that distinction.
In that barbershop interview, did he not mention the songs that he made on Scorpion where his back was against the wall? LeBron and them said Mob. They introduced Mob Ties. He didn't say Mob. He talked about other records, and then they said Mob Ties. But he said what
he
songs
didn't have those songs. He didn't say he wrote them.
Yeah. He said he didn't have those.
I think someone like I think he's using those types of words very specifically in that situation as to not indict himself in the future.
I agree.
I want to say something real quick. The whole industry changed, right? So we holding rappers in this generation to where the rappers in the older generation were being held at. Like, where is the freestyling, right? Niggas do not fucking go in the booth and freestyle raps anymore. They're writing that shit down, or somebody's writing it for them and they're performing it. The whole industry changed, bro. We got to stop looking at ghostwriting like it's a bad thing, bro. The whole industry changed, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
So you don't care if hip hop turns into,
bro. He is
so you don't care if hip hop turns into pop. So you don't give a fuck if hip hop just turns into some Taylor Swift shit then, where we just get like the most nigga looking nigga of all time. We get him, and we get a bunch of people to write for him, and we just go, "You're the guy." You're
all right. So if you really want me to be honest, my nigga, I really feel like it needs to turn into that, nigga. Because
I feel like it already
wait.
Get him out of here. Hip hop is dead. Hip hop is dead.
Yo, hold on. But Mob Ties. If we're like then subgenre now rap, Mob Ties to me would be like pop rap. That would be,
that's what
that would be rap that's palatable.
Talking all that TikTok.
Yeah, that would be rap that's palatable for the masses to consume, not necessarily like a song like Omerta, where like the dude is literally trying to show you his lyrical dexterity and showing you how he could rhyme and have these little, slick bars with double, triple entendres and complex similes and callback. Like none of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, are we really looking at, again, the biggest thing with Mob Ties, and I'll continue to reiterate, is the intention behind the song. The intention behind the song was that your back is against the wall. Yo, your man's, who's Mob Ties, Jay Prince, who's the father of Jay Prince Jr., basically ended the beef. And now you basically saying, you talking your shit saying, yo, I fuck with a mob and I got ties. You know what I mean? Like basically I could get shit done. Because people were saying you were scared of Pusha T. So that's why I felt that was more of a personal sentiment. But I'm not looking at those bars and say, damn, Drake really, Drake couldn't think of these. Nah.
And I'm going to say a real comment. I'm going to be honest right here. No trolling shit. This is the same argument that Nicki was fighting with the females. Like, y'all bitches is not writing y'all shit. Like, y'all cannot be the top bitches in the game if y'all not writing your shit. It's the same thing. That's why.
Yeah, but I think she was talking about other female rappers, like rapping, the bars that they're spitting, not like. But like, I don't think did Nicki write boom, 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 bass? Like, did she write that hook? Like,
yo, bro.
And by the way,
shit gotta stop.
You not a Nicki rap verse written by nobody. You might get a singing hook. You're not getting a rap verse written by nobody.
So finally, Kendrick Lamar intern. Finally, Kendrick Lamar intern says something that's not true, and I actually do agree with you. I actually do agree with you. I think Nicki's whole stance, it's always been interesting. She loves Drake, but her stance goes against Drake, right? Because when she's speaking out about people not writing, it's not that she's talking about ventriloquists, which some rappers are. Young Miami, from what I have heard, don't know how to write her name. You get what I'm saying? She's Milli Vanilli Incorporated, right? However, there are a bunch of people and who I think she's really getting at to a large extent is not only the Cardi B's, is a lot of artists or female rappers who come up in whether the Atlantic system or whatever, where they'll get the hit song out of the book. Yo, here's a hit beat and here's a hook, right? And go just fill in a verse or whatever the case is, right? And they might even have help with the verse. Well, if we really think about it, that's kind of what Drake did. Like Drake got the hit beat and the hook, and yeah, all he had to do was fill in like some parts of the verse. Yeah. So again, I've always said that Nicki's approach, I thought that her approach was antiquated and always held her back. You're not in, like, first of all, you're the queen already. I think that there was a time Nicki kept sounding like she was rapping the same for 6 years. I always said she should have utilized some help in getting hooks or some shit like that. I disagree with her when she's like, yo, I write everything myself. It all comes from my brain. Good for you, but you can still be a great rapper and still update your shit or have some type of collaboration.
You can't though. You really can't.
What you mean?
It's like how can you
Yes,
how
you
can
can.
how can you claim that shit? Like you didn't write that shit. Like you got to feel in your heart that damn another nigga wrote my hit. Like
We're
that's not even real to
distinguishing
yourself.
rapping though
The
from
song's
just
not
making a
real.
song.
Niggas
Even if you
be
can relate
so
to it, the song's not real
delusional.
to you.
Bro, but we're
So you
distinguishing
can't
rapping from
collaborate with a
making
nigga?
a song.
You can't
Again, we
collaborate
got to
with a nigga?
stop doing that because the reason I don't like when y'all do the whole trying to say, oh, because it's him mostly singing, it don't count. That don't really work no more. Because again, it's about what's being said in the song. Yes, Mob Ties was a little bit more melodic, but that was a statement song. You know what I'm saying? The reason why Drake takes songs is because he know it's a statement in by taking this song. He's not gonna take some shit that don't mean shit, that's not good enough for him to use to service a purpose for himself. He gonna take a song that has, okay, I could use this. This is gonna be a good look for me as far as the bars I'm delivering, the way I'm delivering it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why he takes songs and don't take every song. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not about taking a song, right? Because he didn't take the song, bro. He collaborated. They
Oh my God! Why do you call it
collaborated. That's
collaboration?
Yo,
like a
facts,
Bro?
yo,
nigga.
facts,
Hold
facts,
on,
facts.
bro.
I gotta
Hold
keep it
on,
100 with
bro.
you, bro.
That's
Your
like a
take is
nigga.
horrible.
Listen, bro.
Just
That's like
because
a
I get
nigga and a
100,000 off this
girl.
song, don't mean we collaborating, nigga. You bought the song from me. That don't mean we
My
collaborating. I don't
nigga,
get
the
nothing from
fucking
this shit.
verses is different, bro.
Again, and that's the thing about talking to niggas who don't make music about reference tracks, because y'all start bringing up shit that don't really need to be brought up.
Hey,
Of course, we added 2 other verses. We talking about the integrity of how you're using these reference tracks. And again, everybody got
Listen,
reference
there's
tracks,
only
but
one way
not
to use
everybody.
it.
I bet you
Put it
everybody's
out.
reference tracks don't sound as much percentage wise as Drake does. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Kyrie. All right, so we gonna say, so we saying this. So we saying that
yo,
Drake.
yo, yo,
So
yo,
if
that's
Drake,
just a guess though. Wait, that's just like a whole guess. Like, how do
Is it
we?
a guess? Is it a guess, or do you not have reference tracks?
literally.
Listen. Again. Y'all can say that, but
Wait,
we know there's
when,
other reference tracks out there. Of course, there are. I've
wait.
heard some of them.
When have you
But again, it's
heard?
about the percentage of the usage of the reference track.
When have you heard other reference tracks that primarily the majority of the song wasn't derived from the reference track? Like, show me this vast difference where other people are using.
Okay. So I'm gonna point out examples, right?
Okay.
So now you're talking, because what you're saying is, because when you was earlier before you start off into this whole little defense case we're doing right now, you were talking about hooks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so throughout hip hop, especially, and if you understand production and how music is made in the industry, if you make beats or whatever, you're a producer, a lot of producers they team up with songwriters and they send out hooks, and those will be called references, right?
Okay.
No, you understand that, right? We understand that to be true, right?
Okay.
Now, the difference is when we started hearing Drake's reference tracks, it was more than just a hook. It would be like a whole verse, sometimes a whole song. What's the song with the one that he was with Meek Mill, where the whole verse wasn't even. Those are times in which you can have an argument about integrity when it comes to using references. If you're using a reference for a nigga feature, that's crazy, wild, disrespectful.
We not in this time no more, bro. We're not in that time.
Hey, don't tell me what time we in if we're talking about the same shit we was talking about 10 years ago with the same fucking topic, nigga. We're in the same time.
That's the problem. That's the problem, right? Wait. That's the problem. Music is fucking elevating, bro. This whole shit is elevating, bro.
Yo, listen. I understand you found out your man got a placement and you want to switch bandwagons, but I would never forget how you was. Yeah, nigga, you. Fact, you was in here. You was in here out here doing the craziest knee slides, talking about some we not rocking with nothing Drake until he do the interview with Axe. So I can't respect anything you saying right now in regards to this whole situation.
Do you know why I changed?
Yeah, because you a flip flopper. That's the nice way to say it.
Yeah.
Yo, okay. If we're talking about integrity, no, I agree to that level.
Yeah, come on, act like you, because that's the thing. We've heard, I know this song how the Prince reference tracks.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm forgetting how the Rico situation was, but yeah, like generally, and I think there was a all me reference. Generally, you're not supposed to use it.
Come on, thank you.
That's wrong. I think these songs though, Mob Ties, Jumbotron, shit, I don't have a problem with those. But if a nigga asks you for a verse and you're the best rapper ever, you gotta give him a verse. Or tell that nigga no. You know what I mean? Like, again, the only difference with Rico though, right? And I'm calling shooting bail or whatever the case is that we get to find out from Quentin is not that Meek came with the song and said, yo, give me a verse. They gave that song to Meek. Really, Meek just added a verse.
That's just as disrespectful.
No. It's our song we're giving to you. We made
the
song.
Yeah, no, but that's probably based off of the fact that you're probably doing a swap out. Let's be real now.
Hold on, but hear what I'm saying though. If Meek came with a finished song, right? Where, again, everybody knows in a featured situation, the tempo, the cadence is probably already baked in the cake. All you got to do is add some bars. If you then say, rather than create the bars myself, and you're the greatest rapper alive, and you say, let me get my mans to create the bars, and I'll just modify his bars, it's beyond lazy, and the integrity there is fucked. I'm agreeing. However, it's different if, me and this nigga, we were cooking up a song that probably could have been mine. Meek needs a song, or Meek wants to do a collab. You know, I remember Drake, and I don't know if you remember when he said this. He said, in every situation, mostly when I'm doing a collab, I'm the one bringing the song to the table. So again, that was a Drake song. So I look at it different because it was a Drake song. That's Rico is
crazy
Drake's
though,
song.
when you say it back right then just now, it sounded like, yeah, I'll take another nigga's song and sell it to another nigga.
Right, it's referencing the reference track.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is this.
Bro,
y'all getting mad over certain these songs that are like R&B tracks. Like, it's an R&B record. Who cares? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Mob Ties uniquely is not just it is not just R&B, and we gotta stop saying that.
I'm gonna say this.
About rappers.
It is, bro.
To piggyback on what you were saying about Facts, I feel like ever since this nigga Facts got the thing that nigga Vory worked that shit, that nigga whole perception changed. You know that nigga love Vory.
Yo, bro, funny
that nigga act like Vory a god. That nigga
yo,
like...
I knew Vory wrote that song 2 years ago, bro. Like, I know Vory whole catalog. I can tell you a song Vory wrote for Beyonce right now, nigga.
Hey, by the way, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Rico.
Killer, nigga. Like, I could keep going, nigga.
Here's the thing with Rico that's different from a lot of tracks, Kyrie, is that the hook is kind of baked in the verse. If you get what I'm saying, the hook is in the verse, so it's not like the nigga just rapped the verse. Like the verse goes into the hook. Like, there's actually not even a hook. It's just a refrain.
Yo, gang. I know you don't write music, gang, but that's like the lowest hanging fruit of an excuse you just pulled out your ass just now.
Nigga,
I'm gonna let you get it off.
What's the hook?
Don't write shit, but nigga, Kanye better than
Kanye right now.
Wait. What's the hook? You tell me what's the hook on the song?
Take it easy, niggas.
No. That's Enrico. What's the hook?
I don't even remember what the hook is, but that's what I'm saying. It's low hanging fruit. It doesn't even matter what the hook is because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that it's more than a hook.
I fuck with the mob and I got ties.
He was still singing on it.
No. In Rico, that's what I'm saying. There isn't a hook.
Rico ain't got a hook. Yeah.
It's basically the same thing. Meek flips it his way, and Drake flips it one way. OVO, East End, reps up. We might just get hit with a Rico. Everyone home. That would be considered the hook. It's not necessarily a hook. It's really a verse.
And that only strengthens my point about integrity, though.
Yeah, but you see, when we're talking about a verse, we're talking about an actual verse. That's literally the song. That's part of what the hook is.
Yeah,
like, it's very different than like. All right, let me give an example. Let's use the other song. Okay, Going Bad. Going Bad is a very clear distinction between the hook and also Going Bad, between the hook and the verse, right? Now, if you tell me this, that Drake's verse, right? Even though it's kind of the same thing slightly because it goes right into the chorus, really smooth, but whatever. If you told me that Drake's verse was like written by somebody else, actually, no, it's the same thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing, bro.
It's really one long verse.
If you don't make music, you're trying to make it seem like it's not the same thing. It's the same thing.
No.
The biggest difference
Kyrie,
is
Yogo got writers,
Yeah,
but at least Drake nice enough to give niggas their credit.
I feel like
this nigga Kendrick got two ghostwriters, but don't give niggas credit.
Yo, Kyrie, you're trying to
I done heard a lot of niggas in the industry talk about this.
This is why I don't like when Drake fans try to defend it. Like I'm not here to
nigga Jay-Z had ghostwriters.
Wale. We heard you.
Yo, Kyrie.
Again, it's not really about words. It's not about the fact that niggas use reference tracks. The only reason I even bring up the whole percentage of reference tracks thing is because niggas start bringing up what other niggas do. The main issue is we talking about the top guy who self-proclaims that he's better than everybody, using other people's shit. That's the only reason we get down to try to parse out these conversations to this deep.
And then,
I got a question.
Wait, hold on. So you then tell me when you've seen another artist use a reference track that wasn't to that extent. Because, like, you niggas just make up anything when it comes to Drake. The main fact is this.
No, it's not making it up.
Bro, they use the majority of the reference
You said it yourself before you came in here. You said mostly hooks, and you use that word specifically on purpose because you're smart enough to know you say certain things on purpose. When you started off this stream, you were talking about hooks.
No, that Kendrick song, that hook ain't him. That's I know as a fact. The hook ain't him. So when you hear him singing that hook, that's another nigga that wrote it. So I know that's a fact.
No,
so
but that's what I'm saying. It's customary, and it's always been industry standard for niggas to get other hooks.
I'm speaking on that record. No, because Kendrick fans were acting like he's never said anything out of his mouth that he didn't write. He didn't write that one hook. I pulled it up on screen.
Only this nigga Kendrick intern be in here saying that. Again, you talking to a nigga who's not a body.
All right, hold on.
That's most Kendrick fans.
All right, hold on. Now, outside of that, wait. Outside of that,
all I'm saying is this.
Wait, Wale. Yo. Outside of that record, right? And let's get Kendrick out of there. The majority of reference tracks I've heard, right? Like, usually people just consider it the beat, like, even if it got, like, the hook or whatever on it. Well, I can't say ball.
It's hard to really get into this conversation without calling niggas out for their reference tracks.
No. Well, there's some beats that basically the hook is almost just attached to it, right? We're not talking about those people. The majority of reference tracks, or what I will call reference tracks, are full songs that, maybe the verse, you don't use a third verse or you switch your cadence for the second, but the skeleton of the song is already laid out. That's the point of a reference track. This is not a reference chorus. It's a reference track. That's the whole point.
Okay. Now I'm saying. Now let me respond to that question.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's saying this. Yeah, of course everybody cheat on their test, but they only cheat by kind of like they look over like at their neighbors on paper. Drake just be having the answer key, so he's cheating wildly. No, the same way how Drake uses reference tracks is no more egregious than everybody else.
No. I agree with you on that part, but until you start saying this, again, I hate when we get into this because, yes, I know for a fact a lot of people use reference tracks, whether it be the hook, the verse. But now the question becomes, right, how much of it is the case?
Can I answer that question?
You see what I'm saying? So then you got to
start. So now we're arguing percentage. So that's the point. Is like, yo, listen. If you
that's semantics.
No, it's not semantics. It's like this whole conversation is semantics. If we already start at the baseline knowing that everybody uses reference tracks, So if we're gonna have a conversation, let's break down something that we can get to a definitive answer about how a nigga who uses the most reference tracks, who uses them more efficiently
and
as far as percentage wise, and then once you get past the percentage of said reference tracks, who has more reference tracks?
Okay, and then here's the point that no one here would be eligible or equipped to answer that question. We haven't heard the majority of reference tracks outside of Drake. And it's not because they don't exist. They're not as sloppy as Drake. They're doing it within the same camp. They're not emailing records that much. They're bringing people in. They're not like, you think, first of all, there's a million, every song of Kanye after a certain time period, it's every reference track. Kanye not writing.
And again, you want to know why it's different, and I hate y'all bringing up Kanye, is because Kanye is not the nigga running around saying, I'm the best rapper, and I'll rap.
That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point.
Kanye said he was better than these niggas.
Wait. The point of me using Kanye is that in the last like 5 years, there's more Drake references that's leaked than Kanye, but there's without a doubt more Kanye references than Drake. So when you're saying how other people use references, where's the baseline that we're gonna use to quote?
Okay, well, I'm letting you know right now, Kanye is not the baseline. Want to know why Kanye's not the baseline? Because this whole year we know he be doing that.
Okay, who else is the baseline? Because it's not that these niggas don't have references. We don't hear
it. Fucking spectrum, you sound dumb as fuck,
bro. You keep
always talking about he's the best, bro. Y'all be having uneducated niggas up here talking.
You keep moving the goalposts, bro.
Can I just clarify real quick?
Kendrick fans hold on, Kyrie. Fucking goalposts.
Hold on, Kyrie. Let me just explain to you, Kyrie. Ak is not saying that Kanye and Drake are like, we all know Kanye is a producer. What Ak is trying to say is that we know for a fact that Kanye has more reference tracks than Drake.
Yes.
But at the same time, Drake's reference track is more Drake reference tracks being leaked through the internet.
Exactly.
Why is that?
So
and you were trying to say that Drake has like the most reference tracks, and then we point out somebody else who has more reference tracks than him. You say, well, that doesn't count. And then we point out.
I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm saying it doesn't matter in context of the conversation. We already knew that about Kanye.
Yeah, but Kyrie,
about shit that we didn't know, are we not?
Yo, so Kyrie, to bring it home. So Kyrie, to bring it home.
Wait, hold on. I just need to ask something. Is this conversation not based on the fact that a new reference track from a nigga who we thought we heard most of his reference track, another one popped up? Is that not what the context of this conversation?
Yes, but here's the thing, Kyrie. When you then trying to argue what some people say semantics or even percentage or what's egregious versus acceptable, my point to you is that the 95% of the rappers that are currently on and popping use some sort of reference tracks, but you haven't heard them. So how could we compare shit we've heard to shit we don't hear?
Hey, Ak, let me say something real quick with that. Hold on, let me say something with them real quick.
Wait, hold on. Let me say something now, because this was my point. I wanted to go to what Ak was saying. I don't even got to say it now that he said it. So with that being said, because I was just about to say it, but I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to just say it. If y'all niggas literally go, and I'm going to say it, rest in peace, PNB Rock, I love you. But if y'all niggas go and listen to PNB Rock, No Time right now, y'all niggas will hear Manolo Rose on the fucking song, nigga. Manolo Rose wrote that song, nigga, and PNB Rock didn't even take him off of the fucking background vocals, nigga. But I'm gonna shut up though. We gotta get on Drake.
Please, can we get back to the point we talk about? Yo, this is my issue, right? Before anybody try to answer me back, right? Okay, if the conversation right now that we're currently having is based on the revelation that a nigga has yet another reference track, and you trying to bring up the conversation of like what else is there to talk about other than percentage? There is nothing else to talk about other than the percentage of
but we can't know a percentage of anything because we don't know.
We can surmise. We can surmise. And based on
how?
Okay, I can tell you how. Based on how many we heard, knowing that other artists do have reference tracks, but based on how many heard and how often we hear them, it is safe to assume, I could be wrong.
Came up with a point yet.
It's safe to assume that he may have more reference tracks than other niggas.
But Kyrie,
let me finish. Also, multiply that by the fact that, like Ak just said, most other niggas aren't as sloppy as Drake, where if they're going to get a reference track, they're going to make sure they keep it in-house. I would assume a nigga who has in-house writers and hiring mercenary writers is probably gonna have more overall than a nigga who's only using people inside his group. That's all I'm saying. That's simple math.
That's not true.
But if we know that
hold on
there's
for a
clearly,
second.
And Kendrick
Hold on for a
does the
second.
same thing too. Jay-Z does the same thing too. We
No,
done peep that.
if
But
we
he
know that there's a
trying to say the same
coordinated
thing
attack
5 different
against,
ways.
if we know there's a coordinated attack,
Before you say it
against
was a
Drake-
coordinated attack, before this attack happened, Drake still had the most reference tracks.
No, Kyrie. Wait, hold on for a second.
What is that? I'm not wrong by saying that. I know I'm not wrong by saying that. Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
Tell me first.
Hold on, no.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're only talking about what's been released to the public, and also
that's what I'm saying. Like Kanye has more reference tracks.
You've also switched up your argument. You've switched up your argument about. You're saying that Drake utilizes reference track in a more egregious ways than others. Then my counter argument to that was, well, how could we compare others when we don't have that many of other people, even though we do know they exist? They just haven't leaked. Secondly, even if we're supposed to compare it to the other rapper, even though you want to say there's not lyrical or whatever, the same way how Drake used that reference track, Future sang it word for word, line for line, bar for bar. Like, that's how a lot of niggas use reference tracks. You know what I mean? They might switch up a couple bars here or there, but you're acting like Drake.
Okay, that's simple. Let's okay, before, because y'all trying to park everything I say. Simple question. Do you think these niggas? Do you think these other artists have more reference or less? I have Wale muted. I don't know what he's saying, but do you think he has more or less?
To answer your question, is unknown. It's unknown.
No, I'm asking you to use your noodle, use your brain, and make a plausible estimation. Who do you think has more?
But Kyrie, by that
Most
logic,
likely Drake.
Wait.
Whoever produced
hold on
more
for a second.
music.
Hold on for a second. Let me just answer that real quick. Yo, Kyrie, I literally just told you the reason why you hear more Drake reference tracks. That's number one. Number two, I haven't heard more Kanye reference tracks than Drake's, but I know for a fact, like if you use your noodle, like you just said, you'll know Kanye probably have more reference tracks than Drake. You'll probably know Cardi B has more reference tracks than Drake. It's a lot. It's a lot different.
Okay, again, no. Let me point out how y'all choosing not to listen to the logic I'm putting out right here. Again, you just said Cardi B. Cardi B has one album. I'm gonna assume she has less than Drake. Kanye, okay, we can assume that he has more than Drake, and I wouldn't have nothing to say against that. That's fine. But that's also a nigga who we know since day one has been having writers.
But you're speaking proportionally, I'm assuming. I'm assuming you're not saying that.
That's all we could talk about. That's what I'm saying. Y'all,
okay, so then you can't say that Drake's total amount of songs.
I'm not saying anything. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking y'all a simple question. It's a yes or no question.
Nigga, that's really dumb. Talking circles at.
But it's not a yes or no question because you said proportionality matters.
Yo, listen. Again, I'm asking one simple question. Y'all don't have to answer, but it's a yes or no. Do you think Drake has more than most of these other niggas' reference tracks or less?
I think Drake has more reference tracks than Young Miami.
Yeah,
but that's stupid because we're talking about proportionally. Young Miami hasn't put out more music than Drake, so of course.
Okay, I don't know why you would use that as an example, but again, for the most artists, I'm gonna ask you the same question. It's a simple yes or no.
Yo, Kyrie. You're arguing some hypothetical that we have.
Yeah, like it's semantics.
No, it's not that deep. Y'all making it a hypothetical because y'all trying to defend something that doesn't need to be defended.
No,
just answer the question. It's a yes or no, bro.
Yeah.
It's not a yes or no.
It is. Who do you think has more?
No, Kyrie, the reason why it's not Kyrie, because you know you do music. You know for a fact that Drake is a great writer and probably a great writer than 95% of the field that's out right now. So by you using that logic saying, oh, because you hear more reference tracks, meaning like and you're alluding that Drake gets more help than most of the guys out here, that's just I don't get that that argument.
Because Ak hasn't answered my question. Ak, I know you got a folder of reference tracks, right?
Okay.
Right. Is there any artist on there that you has more reference tracks than Drake?
That doesn't mean they have.
Just answer the question, man, please.
No. So the question you're asking is, of the reference tracks that has leaked, who has the most leaked reference tracks? Not who has the most reference tracks in existence.
All reference tracks most likely will be leaked, so that's semantics. Let's get to the answer to the question.
Let's cap. The majority of reference tracks do not leak.
You got an artist that you think that you have more reference tracks.
The majority of reference tracks do not leak. What are you talking about? You think SZA writes every one of her records? You ever heard of SZA?
She don't, but she don't.
And again, now you're changing. We're talking about female R&B artists. Of course, she has writers.
Hold on. But you said most reference tracks leak. I'm telling you, they don't leak. It's not that common for you to hear leaked reference
Can we focus this conversation on the rappers though, instead of trying to bring in R&B artists who get writers and have writers camps? Let's talk about the people who talk.
Drake is
Cardi
an
B has
artist.
a lot of
He's
writers.
not
Kanye
just a
West has a
fucking
lot of
rapper,
writers.
bro.
The majority of Kyrie.
Wale,
The
let me ask
majority.
you this question. Why y'all keep bringing up other rap?
Without me throwing a rapper under the bus, the majority of people with reference tracks or the majority of reference tracks that's created in hip hop do not leak. If that was the case, Atlantic's folder of reference tracks which they have given to dozens of artists, they would have all came out. You've not heard them. You've not heard them because they create them within the confines of Atlantic recording, writing camps, and their incubation system. So the majority of reference tracks do not leak. You will never hear them. You will see a credit that will go.
Y'all gonna try to hang it up on. Y'all gonna hang your point up on that, and that's not what we're doing. So let me ask you this: out of the rappers, the prominent named rappers,
yes, okay,
that you know of, let's keep it on the prominent named rappers, i.e., niggas who I know got reference tracks. Travis, fucking a little bit of Future. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas out here that I know got reference tracks. I've been around music enough to know these niggas got reference tracks. Again, my question is, how much of it do you think? Who do you think has more of it out there?
Kanye.
Now, okay, you can keep saying Kanye, but we know Kanye is at the top of the list.
I mean, of course, Travis.
You said who has more than Drake? I'm saying Kanye.
Yo.
I'm just saying.
If you think that there's more demos for Travis than there's more demos for Travis that exist. There's more demos for Travis that exist than Drake, brother.
There we go. That's all. I knew that, but I just want niggas to be a part of an actual conversation that's going to lead somewhere. Goddamn.
Now,
we got Kanye, we got Travis.
Now those are kind of publicly known.
I know that Dreamville has those right in circles too. A lot of up and coming artists, I know personally, they've been like, "Hey, I did that little hook. Oh, I wrote this little bars right there," because everybody will go up to these little Airbnb mansions that Cole be having. And whenever you heard the Dreamville collaboration,
see, the problem is Kyrie think that WWE is real.
Yo, Ak, let me ask you a question, bro.
What's up?
Don't do that.
Yo, Ak, let me ask you a question. Why are we talking about these hypothetical things that most of y'all think y'all know about versus what we got in the front of our face?
Thank you.
Like, we have this thing in front of our face with saying Drake, he wrote or he got reference tracks about 5-6 reference tracks. Y'all talking about, oh, well, this person got 10. If y'all not going to name
you're trying to be...
If y'all not going to hold on, let me finish real quick. If y'all not going to name this entity that has all these different reference tracks, why are we talking about them versus talking about the person?
Okay. So now we're in this cyclical argumentative spot. Okay, I hear your point, right? Why are we talking about other things when we have this in front of us? So the answer that everybody or the majority of people who like Drake are given to that, okay. Hey, Drake is someone who puts out songs, whether R&B songs or just songs that just aren't lyrical songs. He didn't gain his place in hip hop from a Mob Ties. He gained his place in hip hop from all the songs that he showcased some lyrical prowess.
Like a stage scheming.
None of those have ever leaked. So then we say, well, what are we talking about? Then people like Kyrie and others start extrapolating or assuming because these already exist, why would we be so sure that maybe others wouldn't exist? But if we're only evaluating what's on face value, to me, it's a decent record. I don't think that's the record that makes Drake Drake. It's still disappointing. It's always going to be disappointing when you hear a track that you feel came from the motivation of the rapper, but is it the thing that be like, oh shit, this nigga's a fraud, he can't rap? Not even close. So
okay, so
go ahead. No, I'm throwing it back to you. So
and that's why I feel like the conversation is mainly based on the quality of his pen. None of these things disprove the quality of his pen. So that's where I'm
Conversely though, they don't qualify it either.
No, he's already qualified his pen. He's written for.
Kyrie,
He's
you're
written
bugging.
top songs for other artists. He's written for
That's what I'm
Beyonce.
saying.
He's
Like
a
he
great
written
writer.
for the biggest songs in the world.
Yeah,
like,
nigga,
so
OVO
pen is
up, nigga.
solidified.
Fuck is you talking about, nigga?
Again, gang. Y'all can make these statements. I hear you, and they are fair statements to make. I'm just saying.
Excellent question to Kyrie right now. Kyrie, can I ask you a question?
At a certain point, you have to say, okay, it's fair to say that you don't know that all of them came from the same nigga. Because again, up until recently, we thought Mob Ties came from the nigga. Did we not?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
You out your rabbit ass mind if you ain't think that.
No, I did not, my nigga. That's a
My
different
nigga, that's
flow,
y'all
different melodic
problem.
turn.
That's
Because y'all
crazy.
be-
Putin. That's the craziest thing I've heard you say.
It's a melodic. It's a different. Bro, he's 30 plus. Do I think he's writing every single?
That song wasn't that song is the oldest. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you when you come on. You're a Drake fan. You would never.
Can I ask you all, right? Yo, all right, hold on.
Okay.
Maybe I've missed this part of the conversation. What are you guys' overall takeaway? So I said I'm disappointed, but it doesn't indict his pen. I still think he's one of the best writers and rappers of all time. If I had to come to conclusions, I'm like, yo, maybe Drake is getting a little lazy, right? Like, I think these are very fair things to assume. For you to hear that and be like, yo, this nigga's a fraud, he never wrote nothing, and he's not top 10. Well, these records never made him top 10, so I don't see those points as following. To me, it's a non sequitur. So what are y'all takeaways from hearing it? And then maybe we could try to debate from your takeaway. My thing is, of course, I'm disappointed, but it doesn't impugn his legacy or his pen because these ain't the records that create that legacy. Go ahead.
All right, so for me,
Man, Mob Ties meant something to me, bro.
I don't. It doesn't bother me at all because again, I made solace once I heard Legend. When I heard Legend, I was like, this nigga has a certain level of integrity where he's willing to make statement songs out of other people's songs. So for me, nothing ever past that is really going to change how anybody's going to look at it because we allow that to happen. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't undo what's already done. But as far as, like, for instance. Again, I don't even like doing this because again, it don't matter that much when we already accept the nigga. But like the fact that your diss record had other lyricists on it, it's weird. It's a little weird, make you feel a little way. But again, we already accepted them, so it's like it's no point in really getting that. Like I'm surprised niggas even care about this Mob Ties in the first place. Because if it's not a timestamp record,
wait.
Bro, what you mean? Why niggas care? Mob Ties, bro.
Wait, hold on.
That's one of the best cuts off Scorpion.
Wait.
No.
Are we calling Mob Ties a diss song?
I'm surprised that y'all are surprised, knowing that we already did this with him already.
Wait, are we calling Mob Ties a diss song though?
No. I was talking about the push-ups. There's two other niggas credited as lyricists.
Yeah, it's engineers.
Yeah, I think Mob Ties is a diss song.
But even if it's not a diss song, you still saying it's a back against a wall song. It's like that's still disappointing because that energy is not from the nigga.
I agree with that. I agree with the understanding that it's disappointing to keep finding out that the nigga's not writing shit that we love. But again, when a nigga can do that with a song where he's calling himself a legend and he didn't even write that shit, nothing else the nigga gonna do is gonna surprise me.
Okay, all right, can I just say how I feel about it? When I first heard Mob Ties, I'm not gonna hold you. I wasn't surprised because it did kind of sound like Vory. I ain't gonna hold you. But the best song is the last verse. When he start talking to these niggas, like that's the best song in the shit. To be honest with you, and I think he wrote most of the shit. That's number one. Number two, if it's not a timestamp record, if it's not a from time, like when he talk about his personal life, like his introspective songs, that's the songs I care about. Now, if someone wrote his introspective shit, talking about his mom, his dad, his relationships, then that would hurt. And now we gotta start having some questions about where do we rank Drake all time then. But until then, these melodic club bangers, that's for the hoes, for the bitches, the whole 9 yards.
And by the way, and correcting Kyrie, correcting Kyrie, on push-ups, the only credited writers are Drake, Boy Wonder, his engineer Noel, and another producer. There's no phantom person.
So now what you gotta say?
Like also, also we have to stop thinking like there's like this hidden person that. To keep it real, the closest person that anyone has ever thought has been the guy to write Drake raps is like OVO Hush, and he even denied it. He said, "I'm not writing this shit." It's like we have not seen whether on a. And by the way, Drake is one of the guys who he even came out when the Quentin Miller thing came out. Like he credits people, right? So if he's crediting all the other niggas he's working with, but there's a guy penning his greatest shit, and he's never getting the credit. We never see his name. He's just a ghost, literally. But everybody else who works with him, Yachty, Quentin Miller, Vory, they all get their name in the credits, but when it comes to the shit that's either diss songs or it comes to his lyrical songs, we can't find the name of a phantom person that supposedly is writing the rhymes.
Now listen, I'm not here to down no hill, and if I was wrong about that, that was just something I've seen go on for a good little minute. Niggas are saying that there was.
Or it comes to his
Yo, somebody
he
need to
can't
mute up.
find the name of a phantom person that's supposedly writing.
They want to talk about these reference tracks with niggas, but none of these niggas don't put out music as much as Drake. Everybody got a million things to say, but Drake
that's probably because the nigga get a lot of reference tracks. No, duh.
But nobody else.
Yo, can I say something? None of these
niggas need a fan base.
bro.
Nigga, we don't hear from. It's our first time getting consistent music from Kendrick since 2011.
Yo,
but nobody won't talk about it.
Kyrie, I think you, like a lot of people outside of the Kendrick Lamar hive, Kyrie is like
whoa now. Again, I don't like to be put into a hive because I'm just trying to be fair. All I'm saying is
I hear what you're saying. But
as a creative, it like you said, it is disappointing to find out that some of Drake's better songs where you thought the nigga took it to the next level was from another nigga.
But also, it felt like you were trying to impugn his writing by saying that this song, which obviously
that's I'm not the only one that saw that. There's mad niggas from the Discord and shit who was saying that. I'm just saying what I've heard, and I'm not taking that back. That it doesn't bother me that much to say that. Okay. I'm not a hater. I'm just, if you're gonna have a hip hop conversation, let's have a hip hop conversation that's more than just defending one guy.
Yeah,
producer.
Real quick, bro.
If you're gonna talk about reference tracks, let's develop the conversation. Like, let's get to the bottom. Let's bring up the Saha the Prince reference track from what's the name? Let's bring up the Cash Cobain. Like, if we're gonna talk about reference, let's talk about
Saha the Prince never wrote for Drake. He actually
I'm not talking about Drake. I'm talking about Saha Prince and Travis.
Yeah, but
let me ask you a question.
I don't think people even care that Travis has utilized right.
And again, but see that right there. That's where a lot of this conversation really stands out. Is the only reason we care is because it's a nigga we should care about. It'd be different if it wasn't a nigga we should care about. You see what I'm saying? The only reason we feel this way is because of the nigga we should care about.
Hold on. But here's the thing: Travis is a really good artist, but he's not in the lyrical category.
No, very true. But he also comes from the school of Kanye, so he's gonna have people gonna look at it a different way. The culture gonna look at it a different way.
Listen, unless you're in that lyrical category, if you use a writer, not saying that you're gonna be celebrated, but people ain't gonna phone home.
Like let's be real about it. Like, and again, the only reason we do that with Drake is because Drake is the main nigga telling us, nigga, I'll rap you. Okay.
Most people
you do that most of the times. But again, it's like if you're gonna have that's why I don't even like bringing up the reference tracks conversation around this time of beef, because it is too much of an easy way to discredit niggas when it's really not fair at all, because we know all these niggas do it. Some niggas that y'all think who sound is so unique that you can never replicate it, these niggas be getting replicated, and sometimes not even replicated. It's sometimes they link up with a producer who got a songwriter who know how to do hooks, and the hooks be so good that you think it's every hook from now on that nigga sound. It happened.
Can I ask a question though? Are we normalizing ghostwriters or no?
Hell no.
Hold on.
Why not though?
And I don't think again, if you focus on the fact that we're talking about rappers.
Well, if we're gonna answer the question
we should normalize it. What if a rapper?
No. If we're gonna say honestly,
normalize the good bars. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to
ghostwriters these days are rare. Like there's actually
hold on.
There's a lack of ghostwriters these days because usually in the time now where people realize like the origin of ghostwriters was where people would say, hey, listen, because I want people to think that I'm creating this art. Here's 50,000. Thank you for writing the song, and I'm gonna rap it, and you don't get credited for it. Well, usually that comes with fucking somebody out their pub too. You know what I mean? When you're not listed on a song, you have no pub credits. There's zero mention of you on the song. That's why you're a ghost. In the time where now music is much more lucrative, that's why Saha the Prince was upset. Him and Travis was going through it. Apparently, after he wrote the thing for Travis, I think it was kind of because I don't know.
That verse was fire too.
By the way. you do know there was a time that Travis was rejected. This is when people cared way more about writers. He was rejecting this whole thing that people wrote for him. That's how him and Tory Lanez got into it, right? So he was trying to keep it quiet as well. So apparently, Sci-Hi didn't get credited at first. And he had promised Sci-Hi or something like, yo, I'm going to do a song for you. I'm going to do a swap. So you're not getting credit for this, but I'm going to give you a song, right? That obviously was a lie. That's why Sci-Hi started wilding out. Yo, this record is going crazy, and I'm not getting fucking credited, right?
Wasn't it Sicko Mode?
And another thing to talk about.
Sci-Hi wrote Sicko
Another thing
Mode.
to talk
hold on,
about.
go ahead, bro.
Another thing to talk about too is, and this is just a thoughtful question. Who's to say niggas don't own niggas pubs when they writing for them? That's a thing too.
That's facts.
That's another thing.
Hey, bro.
But hey, you gotta understand, Sci-Hi and Travis are all part of good music. So to a certain point, you know that Kanye had to step in and make sure that shit was made correctly, though.
And that's why I say, like, when you come from the school of Kanye, you're not going to be looked at as egregiously because that's what your camp is known for.
So basically, what y'all saying is y'all don't mind watering down the Kool-Aid as long as you make a little bit of money. That's what y'all cool with.
Bro, it ain't about that. All these niggas have writers. Jay-Z had writers. Just like Axe said, a lot of these niggas got paid and don't get credit. A lot of these niggas shit came from their camp. A lot of shit that Baby Keem writes for Kendrick, Baby Keem not gonna get that credit for because they're part of the same group. Schoolboy a lot of shit for
Actually,
but nobody's not gonna speak on that.
I'm arguing actually the opposite.
How is it true, bro?
Hold on,
nobody speaks on it.
I'm arguing the opposite
because they all in the same camp. They keep it in house.
How do you know that thing? You calling something out like you saying, "Oh, I know it for
a
fact."
Bro. Unlike a lot of these niggas in here, a lot of these niggas who work for labels, a lot of these niggas work for Empire, a lot of these niggas who in these groups accounts that do management, they hit me up.
All right, they hit you up, but I'm saying, like, if you don't get the definitive proof in your hand to show that to other people, bro, you're just saying.
It's not even that. These niggas be in the studio with them. A lot of these niggas who behind the scene be in pictures with these niggas in the studio.
I mean, Wale is not wrong by that. Wale is not wrong.
Wale's talking facts.
Yeah, Wale.
The bigger question for me is like if Drake was to take a hiatus, what would he come back with? Like you were asking that earlier, like quantity or quality. I think there's a testament to artists who take a step away because they don't be having other people write for them and what it does to their sound in general. Like for instance, J. Cole and Kendrick seemingly have both at one point in time took a step away. And I do think it does something to your process of making music and the way you attack music. And I would like to see how Drake would attack music after taking a break, especially if it's all like him, no reference tracks. I just want to know what that would sound like. I think we all want to know what that would sound like.
No, 100%. But do you think he will take a break though?
Bro, Kyrie, you make a perfect point because I was going to bring this up earlier. Hold on.
I'm gonna give y'all a great example. When Gunna quit writing for Lil Baby, you could tell the difference in Lil Baby music. That shit ain't hit the same.
You definitely could. You could hear the difference.
I mean, Lil Baby's like I'm not an entirely Lil Baby fan. Y'all could correct me, but a lot of his music has been sounding the same. I know a lot of people say it, but you know what I mean? Same flow, same rhymes, and same everything.
Because Gunna ain't writing for him no more.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Another reason why I don't like talking about reference tracks, because when people talk about reference tracks, a big part of the conversation that is completely missed is not everybody has the ability to even use a reference track, because sometimes you have to have a certain level of studio experience to take a song and to magnify it. And not everybody has that. Very similar to like this nigga Chris Brown. Niggas know Chris Brown works for writers' camps, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But like the thing about Chris Brown and the way that music process over that type of R&B music process works, songs go through 6-7 different artists before it finally has a landing spot, right?
Yeah, like a lot of like Justin Bieber songs went through a lot of artists. Same with like other people, like like it goes through a bunch of artists and then.
And that's my question, bro. Do y'all think that Drake could benefit from taking himself out of the lyrical miracle box and putting himself in just like an artist box? Like
Yeah.
I think that Drake is the only nigga. No, you gotta understand that Drake is the only nigga that was able to do everything. Drake is the only nigga we ever seen to be like, and all thing about it, Nelly never got into that lyrical world, but he was like, I can be super mainstream and pop. I can make that club record. I can make that backpack rap record. I can make that club anthem. I can make that strip club anthem.
All right,
Drake was the only
do
nigga
you
to
think
do
other
everything.
people got
Hey, hold on,
Drake
Wale.
to do this?
Let me ask Wale the question. All the Drake fans can answer this too. How do you think Drake's career would look if those reference tracks that didn't leak, let's say he didn't have those songs at all, he just did everything by himself? You think he's still going on that same 10+ year run?
No.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing that I'm saying when it comes to this reference track shit. It ain't do nothing as far as like liking Drake music. I'm always gonna like Drake shit. But after these reference tracks, leak, I'm thinking like, damn, did this nigga could he really recreate that whole shit over?
By the way,
Like
this has taught me one thing, man. Yo, this is why in music it's important to keep the fucking fans out of the kitchen. Because once you start seeing how the fucking plate was made, you lose your fucking appetite or the food don't taste good. And
some of these studio sessions is like cooking chitlins, nigga. It's like, nigga, this shit is like engineer, right? I be engineering, right? Bruh. If you gotta sit through like some of the most fire verses, right? If a nigga had a punch in every bar, bro, and you had to sit through that bitch, bro, that song ain't gonna hit the same.
I know.
And by the way, if we also think about it too, you see, it's because people don't care that much about producers. But this is why it's so hard for producers to rise in the game these days. Production right now, it's a million times even worse than what you're seeing with rap, right?
100%.
Because
I'm a producer. It's so
there's
hard
5
to
to 6.
get in.
There's 5 to 6 producers damn near touching every track, right? One guy's doing the drums. Then the drums get tweaked by a producer that works with the artist because the artist likes how his producers, this other producer's drum knocks, and then this other guy like adds a couple keys, and then you have the instrumentalist. That's what Lil Rod was saying. Lil Rod was saying, "Yo, I'm a producer," and what Stevie J said, "Nigga, you played the piano, nigga. Shut the fuck up. We paid you for the piano. You're not the beat maker." Then then the splits are crazy, and then you have the person with the biggest name. They get credit. So the loop guy, you have the guy with the loop, the guy with the drums, guy with extra instrumentation, the guy. Even the engineer wants some credit.
What Mike Will used to do.
And then
Mike Will,
exactly, and then when it comes out. It says, yo, this bop was produced by, and they give it credit to the biggest name. And what happens then? Niggas get mad. Because now it's like, yo, I ghost produced this shit for you. And then what happens is, as a smaller producer, you got to then keep working with the bigger producers with a name because the name works in hip hop. When everybody says Tay Keith is hot, everybody wants a Tay Keith beat, right? Now, Graham, I'm not saying Tay Keith does this shit, but because he has a very particular style and pattern. But again, you have the small producers that end up ghost producing for the bigger producers because they have a name, and then pretty much you just got to play the pub game. Some producers, I know there's a guy in here that says he's a producer. Some producers get fucked on that game too.
Oh yeah, bro, I've been fucked up big time.
Same thing with writers, and again, that's why I be saying about today.
There's a lot of producers
even though niggas do get credited, there is a conversation. Okay, that artist may be credited, right? But you can get credited, but that don't mean you necessarily own all your pub. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's a lot of
Akademiks,
producers taking shitty deals on publishing as well, man.
Yo, what up?
Like, cause a lot of times, most times, the nigga won't credit you until you sign to their pub situation, and then you get credited, nigga.
So, Ak, I have a question.
What's up, bro?
So do you think it's kind of unfair for like you said, these ghost producers not getting credited or anything? It's happened to me a couple of times, but do you think something should happen, or do you think nothing will ever happen?
You signed up for it.
We gotta unionize.
Nah, bro, hell no. Y'all can't unionize off that shit. That's what y'all got paid for.
I mean, I kind of didn't pay for it, but I guess I get what you mean.
If you got paid to do something, if you got paid to be a shadow, bro, just be the shadow. Don't be like, oh, this shit hitting for y'all. Let me get a little bit more money and let me get my credit for that. No, you should have been thought about that, bro.
Exactly. That's how I looked at it.
Like, closed mouths don't get fed, so you can't be like, oh yeah, now that this shit popping, I want everybody to know I did that shit. No, nigga, you should have believed in yourself from the jump and said, yo, if I give you this, I want my name.
Hold on, my bad, chat.